Hey guys, what's going on? It's Pete Petersen here today talking to you guys about Facebook automotive inventory ads. We'll give everybody just a sec to start joining on here. Appreciate you guys coming out. We're going to be starting to do a little bit more of these live streams, talking about different elements of Facebook, targeting, how to attract the right customers, campaign creation, stats, KPIs, things that you need to know to just dominate on Facebook. Today, we're going to focus on the automotive vertical a little bit. I am going to make this a lot more broad. Many of you guys know I'm very focused in the automotive space. That's kind of the niche we serve. But overall, we're building tools and platforms and having a lot of conversations with small business owners all over the place. So the goal is to start having more conversations. So if you're on, let me know you're on. Say hi, what's up? And leave some comments on there. I'm actually going to be showing you guys today a flow chart and some different ways to set things up. And my hope is that it just opens your eyes on different ways you can use the power of Facebook. I'm not going to be diving in. A lot of my videos aren't going to be going into exactly how to do it, although I have no problem going in. If you guys have questions and want to see exactly how to do some of these things, go ahead and just leave it in the comments. Say, hey, how do you actually do that? And I'd be more than happy to do a dedicated live dedicated to whatever topics that you guys need help with. I want to serve you guys at the highest level, ultimately be able to help you guys dominate on this because I found this to be one of the most powerful mediums in the entire world. In all the years I've been advertising, we use it for our own business to attract our clients. It's actually the only way we advertise. And it's been just a major powerhouse to watch a lot of companies, especially automotive dealers, go from the number 4, 5, 6 dealer to number 1 in their region just by right sizing their budgets towards first party advertising. And so that's our whole mission. I want to help you guys through this. I'm going to be walking through today some different scenarios on how to set up your ads. We're going to go through 2-3 different ways of setting this thing up. And ultimately, there's no right or wrong answer on how you want to do it. It all starts with your business objective. So at the end of the day, obviously, many businesses want to sell more of something, sell more widgets, sell more vehicles, sell more service customers, right? And so what we're going to do today is we're going to cover some different avenues on how you can get started with this. We're going to go from targeting to ad types to flow. And hopefully this brings a little bit more education so that you can understand how you should look at some of these, how you want to set it up, and ultimately understand that the system is highly configurable. So there's no, again, out of the box way of setting it up. Facebook has some recommended guidelines. We've actually found in a lot of cases, their recommendations aren't best for the actual advertiser. In other cases, it just crushes it, right? So we want to share best practices. We want to share what we hear from them that's working really well, what we hear from them that needs a little tweaks, and then ultimately when we're testing out in the live field, we want to bring that back to you and show you how to do it. All right, so let's jump in. I'm going to show you guys a little bit right now, and again, if you're on, go ahead, leave me a chat, say what's up, say hello on here. Love to know that you guys are on. Ultimately. All right, so we're going to jump in first to targeting. And so the number one thing that most people think right away is that you can only target, based on gender or age or race or interest on Facebook. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to there's a ton of different ways to target, okay? Now, the most overlooked for automotive inventory ads right now is a system-wide change they made called broad audience targeting. BAT it stands for. And you can Google this. It's called broad audience targeting. We've written a lot about this. But basically, this is the in-market shopper pool of real-time people looking for vehicles based on browsing on Marketplace, Endemic sites, Google searches, looking on car and driver type research sites. So what Facebook is doing is constantly watching what users are doing, right? Let's face it, we're logged into Facebook. It's helping them understand what we like, what we're interested in, and that's how they're able to dynamically service some of the best ads in the world. And so this is an area where you can go out and target real-time shoppers, people leaving your competitor's website, your endemic sites that you're paying for ads on. All these different areas are included in this broad audience targeting. We recommend that by default, with automotive inventory ads, you should be using broad audience targeting to go find people. Now, you can also go in and buy third-party data from companies like Polk IHS through either their direct relationship or through Oracle Data Cloud, and you can add that in and target in-market shoppers for SUVs, for cars, for trucks. And again, they're using more of a predictive model on how they're coming around. Now, the other side are lookalikes, custom audiences, where you can build audiences on your website visitors today, your uploaded contacts, what people are doing on Facebook and Instagram, and then ultimately, a ton of different custom audiences that you have out there. So there's a ton of different ways to target. We're going to focus on broad audience targeting today, going out to people that have not been to your site. They're shopping for cars right now, and ultimately you want to bring them in. And what Facebook is going to do is it's going to use their targeting plus your catalog in order to develop an ad strategy. So in this case, what we're going to be talking about in the first scenario is how to generate a lot of leads for very low money, right? So some dealers are saying, hey, I just want to go get a ton of leads and I only want to pay, $5, $10, $15 a lead, right? You could do that on Facebook. Just understand certain actions are going to dictate what type of results you ultimately get, right? So sometimes you're going to get a lot of leads and they're not as qualified. I'm going to show you things you could be doing on here as well, ultimately. But in this case, there's some partners out there, some vendors out there that basically do what's called cold targeting. They go out to just anybody in your local market with your inventory ads and then try to get them to fill out a lead. Okay. And now a lead ad pops up and automatically captures someone's first name, last name, email, and phone number. And that's great. Many providers are also having difficulty getting the VIN that they're actually on. There's some technology you need to do this, but ultimately it's possible. You can actually get the vehicle information, the VIN, the full exploded detail of the year, make, model of what they're interested in. Now, when you just ask for their first name, last name, email, it's very frictionless, and Facebook automatically will suck that person's information directly into the form and say, hey, would you like to submit this to the advertiser? And all they have to do is say yes, boom, and it's basically in your CRM. Now, if you want to start adding quality to lead flow, you need to start asking for more information. So some questions you can ask. When's the best time for a test drive? Are you trading another vehicle? What type of vehicle? What are the mileage of that vehicle? What ultimately are you looking for on a monthly payment, right? So you can ask qualifying questions to slow that down. Now, my philosophy, and we don't like to run these ads personally. Again, you can configure it any way you want as a dealer, but my philosophy is when someone has not been to your site yet and hasn't looked at your vehicle, you shouldn't just ask them for a lead. That's like walking up to someone on the street and saying, hey, I really think you're cool. You're walking by my building. Do you want to buy something right now, right? Like you're most likely going to start a conversation and then you're going to ultimately wind up figuring out things around that shopper. And then you're going to have conversations leading that shopper to hopefully the path to purchase, right? And so in this case, don't really recommend setting it up this way. A lot of people set this up and just go for high lead volume. Ultimately, Facebook, after they capture the lead, will push them to the VDP page. And we'll get into kind of what happens here. But I don't recommend this, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to jump down to a recommended way. And it kind of flows. But again, same targeting. But this is a little bit more sophisticated way. This is more of a full funnel approach. And I'm a big fan of that. Not a single click will ever sell someone on anything. I don't care if it's a car, and I don't care if it's a bar of deodorant, right? You're not going to sell someone on a single click. Clicks are designed to create awareness and start separating the pack in a lot of ways, viewing and everything else. Every action someone takes with your brand in front of it is an action taking them closer to buying from you, right? So they've got to know you first, they've got to trust you, and then ultimately they'll decide to buy from you. So what we'd rather see is that you go again, broad audience targeting, come here on the left, go broad audience targeting or any other type of targeting you want. Run those carousel ads, right, of your cars. Then drive them to your VDP page. A lot of vendors are doing this. But what people forget to do is you got to put user tracking on. You've got to actually look at your VDP page and make sure you have code beyond the Facebook pixel. The Facebook pixel is just going to tell you, did they just view the vehicle? Okay, that's not going to tell you, did they submit a lead? Were they engaged or not? Did they view photo galleries? Did they do anything else on there that deems that we should spend more money in retargeting, right? But what happens here is by introducing your brand, your vehicles, you're going to start the shopper process. Now, dealers have a ton of different, and business owners in general, have invested tons of money into your website, right? So as we get into your website side and you start looking at a little bit more of some of the things that you invest in, you've got widgets like, chat tools, trade-in forms, finance forms, digital retailing, checkout, some of the new things that are happening right now in automotive, right? Phone numbers that they could call or texting from there. Form fills, and dealers love to have 14 different ways to contact you. Again, we recommend having one. In a funnel, when you're driving funnel, you want to have what is the next action you want the customer to take, right? So in this case here, you've got a form, but you got a test drive, an e-price, of this, of that. Try to simplify where you can, but ultimately you need to log. Did they submit a lead or not, right? And if they didn't, then you want to continue following up with them with like type or similar vehicles that they looked at already. And by setting the code up properly in here, you'll be able to retarget that shopper with the exact vehicle plus other vehicles that are coming in stock. So as the stock is rotating, you're going to be able to keep in front of an SUV shopper with SUVs that you have in stock. You're going to be able to keep in front of a sports car fanatic with sports cars you have in stock, right? And so Facebook will do a lot of the heavy lifting on matching the right vehicle to the right consumer. So be it you actually send in the right signals to Facebook. If you do that, there's a lot that Facebook will do for you. Their algorithm is insane. But what you have to understand here, this is treated here, any one of these leads that are going to come into your CRM. This is the first thing I want dealers to realize. They're not going to be tagged as Facebook. This is no different than how Google has sent you traffic. Google is not identified anywhere in your CRM. Are they? I haven't seen them anywhere. It's usually Google gets a click, sends them to your website, they fire an event that says there was a lead, and then it shows up as a trade form, as a finance form, as a VDP form, right? And that's good in many ways. First, you've invested in those tools. You believe those are the best setup for your customers and for your employees to be able to handle leads from that. You're putting chat on the website. You're putting finance forms. You're helping them through the experience. And I agree. More things should convert through your website than anywhere else. You've invested in those tools. So normally when you add Facebook right away, you're going to see, whether you're tracking or not, you're going to see an increase in every one of your lead tools. It just happens because you're going to have more qualified traffic going to your website, shopping and doing the same thing that any other consumer would do if they drove by a billboard and went to your website or they heard you on TV. It's no different. It's someone coming to your website and shopping. The only difference is we're putting them directly on a vehicle of interest. So they're very low funnel in terms of, a vehicle of intention, which, let's face it, VDP leads are the most qualified lead in many ways for a dealer because most BDCs and most sales reps want to call out with a car in mind. They want to know what you're interested in, and they want to try to invite you in for those vehicles, right? Many dealers aren't good at just taking in a specials lead of like, hey, I'm interested in a new vehicle for $479 a month. I don't really care what it is. Help me find my car. You'd rather have, in a lot of cases, hey, I'm interested in that 2020 Nissan Maxima or whatever the case is, right? So as you go through this, understand first and foremost that you're not going to see these as Facebook leads. They're going to come in as your website leads. The second thing that you got to know is that you have the option, and these are optional. All of these things, retargeting is optional, right? Many providers don't even set up retargeting. A lot of website providers that are providing AIA ads right now only drive traffic to make their website look better, that they're getting more traffic, right? I would say that when you're running this, you want to run a full funnel. You want to drive people in, but you want to retarget not only just, remember, when you set up retargeting, you're not just retargeting the people that came from Facebook. Facebook is able to match over 85% of your website traffic to a Facebook user when it's actually not bot traffic, right? If you've got a bunch of bots on your site because you're buying a lot of really bad media, and there's a lot of dealers doing that, you can't match it up to someone. And that's a quick way, by the way. You can actually, I should post a session on there on how to actually track based on UTM sources, the retargeting buckets formed from that traffic. So you can tell if you're buying quality traffic or not. But at the end of the day, you need to retarget. You got to retarget because most of your conversion is going to happen inside of there, right? So here we go. As you come in and you bring people into your VDP, you want to retarget them with similar vehicles. Now you have the option. And what we like to do is if someone viewed a vehicle, we call it the Amazon approach, right? If you add something to your basket in Amazon and you just happen to leave the basket for too long, or life gets in the way and you've had to shut your browsers because you got too many of them up and you still have something in your Amazon basket, how many times have you been nudged either through an ad from Amazon or from an email that they have because they have you logged in? They are able to deliver an email to you. Hey, you left something in your basket. And it's a nudge, right? If you're interested, take that next step. And so what happens here is with retargeting with lead ads, if they did not convert on the dealer's website, you can target them with the exact vehicle or vehicles. So that doesn't show them any vehicles they haven't considered yet, right? You only want to show them, if you're going to ask for a lead, in my opinion, vehicles that they've already looked at, that they've had interest in, that they've looked at the photos, that they know the mileage on it. And you basically need to follow them with the eye candy. Hey, you are interested in this. I still have it in stock. Would you like to receive more information? And what we like to do is we set up 4 or 5 different types of these lead ads, all with different types of call to actions. But we only show one call to action in each ad. So one might be get an e-price. One might be schedule a test drive, right? You want to keep them singular minded on what's there. But we're able to get 4 or 5 different types of call to actions. Hey, would you like to value your trade and see if you can, what this car can cost you? You can run all of those. And those leads, as they come in, can be both a carousel and a single image ad, turn into lead ads, okay, which captures the vehicle of interest and automatically pushes them in to your CRM via ADFXML or HTML. Now, this does require third-party integration work. There's tools out there to do this. I'm not going to start pitching on tools. Obviously, you can click the link in my bio. You could find out who I'm with and the software we've built as well. That's available for you to do pretty much all of this stuff out of the box. But at the end of the day, these are things you need to understand what you can do first and foremost. And again, I'm here. If you have questions, put it in the chat box. I see a couple of you guys. Tim, Dylan, thanks so much for commenting so far. I do see a bunch of other viewers on here. I'm using some new software. I'm trying to figure it out right now. So please, if you want, just the best way so I could see it. I see Tim, hey, you're one of the top 3 online digital marketing teams that I've ever seen. High quality. Thanks so much, Tim. Appreciate it. We try to put quality content out there. And again, if there's anything you want to see, please go ahead, write it in the chat box. Be more than happy on here to jump into anything else. Okay. So as a whole, I want you guys to understand there's multiple ways to set this up. There's no right, there's no wrong way. There's only the way for you as a dealer to understand what you're trying to accomplish. If you need a lot of leads and you've got a BDC team, right? We've got dealers that have 20-person BDC teams just set up to deal with high volume. Turn on lead ads. Who cares? You're used to dealing with events. You're used to dealing with high funnel people. Give the opportunity to your BDC and let's see if they can work someone, right? So you may want to come in here and just go for cold traffic and get lead ads. Now, I'm going to give you 2 tips to get higher quality if you're going to go out to cold traffic. And cold traffic means someone who's never been to your website. You know you're in market because they're in broad audience targeting, but you don't want to send them to your website. You're basically going to use this like the old school gated technology where you send someone to your website and they have to fill in their email before you'll show them pricing or anything on there, right? It's basically the same thing as that. First and foremost, turn on what's called carousel mode on here and slideshow mode in these carousels. So what that's going to do is it's going to slideshow between all the different pictures of that vehicle like a video almost. And it's going to go through and it's going to show someone the exterior, the interior. It's going to take all the photos from your catalog and it's going to put them into that carousel and allow them on a single tile to see all the different interior, exterior shots. Now remember, the tile is so small, right? So again, I don't think it's super high quality. I don't run a lot of the ads this way, but we do have high volume dealers that request it this way because they want to feed their BDC team. So again, if you're a BDC team trying to get a lot of stuff on here and you want to create action, this is one of the best ways of doing it, right? So what you're going to do here is turn on slideshow. And the other thing on the lead ads is ask some qualifying questions. Ask 1 or 2 questions because what will happen is when someone opens up and clicks the learn more button about that vehicle, it automatically pulls in their first name, last name, email, phone, and all they have to do is hit submit and it goes right into your system. It's that simple, right? And we get the VIN and everything else. But ask a question and what they have to do then is fill it out. So if someone accidentally clicks learn more and instead of just hitting the next button where you capture the lead, we have heard that, some people don't even realize they're putting a lead into your system. Ask a question or 2 so they have to open the keyboard and fill it out. Now, first name, last name, email, and phone are normally pre-populated fields by Facebook because they have that data on all of us in there. So if you want higher quality, even though you're going to cold traffic, ask a qualifying question like what vehicle are you currently trading? What car are you currently driving? Tell us about your current vehicle, what year, make, and model, and condition it's in. Someone has to fill it in. Now when they do, there's an intent of transferring information from Facebook to you. Okay. And that's the big difference, guys. People aren't being intentional in some of the ways they're developing this. And sometimes consumers don't even know what they're signing up for. So it's like having tire kickers. It's equivalent to running an event at your dealership, putting in spin to win type codes or sending a key out to everybody's mailbox, hoping that they just walk in, even though half of the people aren't in market. They just bought a car a week ago. So again, broad audience targeting usually handles a lot of that. The second thing is your ad quality. So I just want to give you this kind of stuff. I don't want to go too deep on some of these because I don't want to get very long-winded, but leave me some comments on this. How are you guys setting these up? How are you guys setting automotive inventory ads? What are your challenges? You know, pixel's a challenge a lot of times. Catalog's a challenge. Getting the lead data, if you're getting leads to flow in from the system, right, from Facebook directly into your system using lead ads is difficult on the VIN side. We know that. You know, tracking third-party widgets, we heard is an issue. What are your issues? What are your challenges as you're running out there? How do we make this more accessible so every single dealer can turn this on and make consumers aware of the inventory you have on the ground to help deliver a much better consumer shopping experience for them? Facebook's built an amazing tool. Unfortunately, 9 out of 10 dealers that we ad hack, and I'll get into an ad hacking video so you can see that, does not have this even running or set up properly. So it's a huge competitive advantage for all the other dealers. You know, our dealers are having phenomenal results that use this. And I would encourage you guys to work with either your agency, your website provider, but make sure that you know that they can set all this stuff up, because if they can't do all this different type of targeting, if they can't set up these in different ways, then they're not working to help solve your business challenge. They're just setting up ads, and we're not here just to advertise. The other thing, as you're going through here, just keep in mind, you know, take a look at the copy, the ad copy. Does it separate? You can include your why buys right in your ad copy. It doesn't have to be generic. Hey, do you want to just buy a used SUV or a used car? And by the way, a lot of what I'm talking about here is very geared towards used vehicles right now. There's kind of a different strategy I take for new vehicles, and I'll share that in another video. But this is very used car focused. It works for new as well. But if you're not shooting new vehicle inventory with camera, video, and everything else, many dealers are not merchandising their new car. Facebook's only as good as the data you give it. So I'd encourage you guys, if you haven't learned anything, you got to merchandise. That's what every big brand does. You have to merchandise your vehicles. Every vehicle deserves photos and videos. I don't sell them. I'm just telling you, the cars that have photos and videos sell way faster than the ones that don't. Everybody is a visual at this point. They want to look with their eyes and see if it has that third row captain seat or not. So it'll help in all your platforms if you're syndicating to third-party Endemic sites, or you're doing it for Facebook inventory ads. So hopefully this helps you. Again, I got a thing on here. Let's see. I got some comments on here. Hey, I want to use your services, but I'm with someone else. Any suggestions on how to capture the business? Hey, listen, again, my links are in the profile. I'll be more than happy to chat with you guys, even if you're using a current provider. I'd much rather you get things set up with your current providers than take business. My philosophy in life is whoever can serve you best, right? Whoever's going to spend the face time with you, spend the time educating you, working through your business challenges, who you should work with. And if you have a great provider that's helping you in 9 out of 10 ways, a lot of this is tweaking. So be more than happy to help you with that. Brent Paris from Facebook chiming in here. Thanks, Brent, for joining. Creative is so important. It truly is, guys. And especially now, your why buys, safety, right? I know a lot of people are discounting COVID still and saying, well, it's kind of over. I'm done. I'm done talking about it. But I'm telling you, consumers are still freaked out. That's not why they're not leaving their house in a lot of ways, right? So safety is super important. Mention it in your creative. You could be running automotive ads and talk about the test drive experience, how it's safe, how it could be delivered to your doorstep for a test drive, how you clean the cars now, all of those things. And obviously your why buys. If your cars are coming with extra, certified pre-owns, or coming with extended warranties, or your new cars come with free car washes for life, and things about your dealership. Why should someone buy from you? All of this stuff is reaching these in-market shoppers, and it's your message. This is a time that dealers can actually think about controlling your brand. You're not going to have some other third-party brand on this ad. This is your brand communicating directly to consumers. This is a direct-to-consumer play. And so I just encourage you guys, this is one of the most powerful features I've ever seen developed on any platform. Facebook by far has already exceeded so many of my expectations in their ability to get people to take actions, whether it's just to view something, like something, click something, fill out a form, buy something. They get you to take the actions. It's up to you guys, right, to know how to use this. And I'd really encourage you guys to educate yourselves on what is possible and then start implementing it to solve true business challenges for your dealership, because there's nothing this platform can't do. So I'm here, ask questions. I'm going to try to join live here once, twice, a few times a week. I'll be hanging out in the new Facebook Automotive group. If you haven't joined the Automotive Collective group that's out there, I'll leave a comment on one of these. I'll still figure out how to actually go in and leave comments on this stuff. But I'll leave a comment to the group. You should join that if you're not in it. Hopefully we'll be able to have some great discussions in there. And my plan is to actually go through that and take questions and answers out of that, and then do live Q&A with you guys, so that any questions you guys are having, we can kind of break down and show you guys things similar to, these flow charts, and break it down so you understand what is possible. They're a little complex. I'll also show you a lot of eye candy too as we go into here. I'll show you ads and how to ad hack, how to steal your customers or steal your dealership's ads, and take a look at what it looks like so that you can make sure you're being competitive. All right. So awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off for now. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you found value. And if you did, like, comment. The best thing to do, obviously, is like, but if you could leave me a comment, that'd be great. Love to see, who you are, where you're coming in from, and ultimately what questions you have, so I can help answer them in a future video. Look forward to chatting with you. And if you want to learn more about anything I'm doing, again, just click my profile link. All my profiles have my information on there. Thanks so much, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Make today awesome, and have a phenomenal day. See you soon. Peace, guys.